We're about to make a very special presentation to our friend Noel tonight. But I want to read to you something of the record of his achievements, and it will speak for itself. Noel is the son of Salvation Army officers. He's an exemplary, humble Christian gentleman whose commitment to Christ is unwavering. He has many gifts, including the gift of encouragement, which we heard about, which has been evidenced throughout his life in the way he has influenced both young and old. As a composer, he has greatly impacted the music world of the Salvation Army, having over 80 compositions published by the Army. I've seen 3 different figures, Noel, so I'm not quite sure how many are out there. Getting close to 100, is it? Okay. He has been a local officer for over 53 years, serving as songster leader, YP band leader and bandmaster. He held the position of territorial music director for 14 years and was also a member of the Melbourne Staff Band for 14 years. For the last 13 years, he's been bandmaster of the Melbourne Veterans Band until he retired in January 2014. For more than 12 years prior to his employment with the Salvation Army, Noel was Director of Music at junior and senior music camps in this territory, always personally conducting at least one camp each year. For this, he took holidays from his employment with the State Education Department. And later, during his time as Territorial Music Director, he also took responsibility for organising and running these camps each year, always giving far more than was expected and putting in much more time than for which he was remunerated as a Salvation Army employee. For 12 years, Noel was the guest leader at music camps and schools abroad in places including Africa, Japan, New Zealand and Hong Kong, where he was in great demand and made a huge impact on the local musicians. A number of these camps were also led while he was on annual holidays from the Education Department, and some when he was Territorial Music Director, and I believe a number even since his retirement. He personally funded several of these trips and helped raise funds to pay for Salvationists who accompanied him on several occasions. Where needed, Noel arranged for music and instruments to be donated to the territories he visited to strengthen the local musical sections. And I have a memory myself that goes back to my earlier days as an officer when we purchased cassette tapes of your piano music. Do you recall those, Noel? Noel would sit at the piano and record music, and he would then sell those cassettes to help fund some of these activities overseas. And my wife and I, for many hours, listened to your cassette tapes driving up and down to Gippsland in our car in those days. Dr. Stephen Cobb, who we just heard from on the video, on the occasion of the Bands for Africa concert in Melbourne in 2013, addressed the congregation saying this: "It's very easy to see people in your world and to assume it's a given. It's very easy to take people for granted when they are there all the time, and they are consistent, and they are solid, and they just keep going and going and going. As I have listened to the band under the baton of Noel Jones, I have thought that perhaps in this country you take this man for granted. He is an extraordinary man, and in our territory, UK territory, he is highly respected and revered. His contribution to the Salvation Army world is immense." He said to Noel, "Thank you for all that you do for the Salvation Army music industry worldwide. It is not taken for granted, and I'm sure it's not taken for granted here." Well, Noel's ongoing commitment to his local corps is one of total dedication. He has mentored and tutored many young musicians throughout his life at the corps, several of whom are present members of the Melbourne Staff Band. He personally raises several $1,000s each year for the mission of his home corps, Linwood, by playing his cornet with a taped backing in a shopping centre every day for between 2 to 3 weeks, and he does this all by himself. Noel has worked tirelessly in serving God through the Salvation Army for more than 50 years. His service and ministry is outstanding, above and beyond the call of duty. His personal sacrifice in the interests of the mission and ministry of the Army, both locally and internationally, is exceptional. For this reason, we believe that Noel Jones is a worthy recipient here goes my words, a worthy recipient of the Order of the Founder. It's very humble looking bronze medal instituted by our founder, and it gives me just incredible pleasure, and it's a privilege to be able to bestow this upon you. I'm not sure, Mary, whether I should be sticking this pin in or you should.
You could do it.
Well, let's see. Turn around. Show everyone. The citation that accompanies the medal, which is inscribed with Noel's name on the reverse, reads as follows. The Order of the Founder, instituted by minute dated 20th of August 1917, presented to Bandmaster Noel Jones, for faithfulness to God and the Salvation Army as a true example of Christ-like holy living, and for exemplary service as a local officer, musician, composer and mentor for over 53 years. I hereby admit the said Bandmaster Noel Jones to the Order of the Founder and direct that his name be inscribed on the roll of the Order, dated this 21st day of June in the year of our Lord 2014, International Headquarters, London, signed Andre Cox, General.